Thanks for watching. Go ahead and click the subscribe button and the bell icon so you get notified of each new video as it comes out. Hey everybody, I'm JJ Johnson. You're watching Reality Survival, and today we're going to talk about some urban survival stuff, tactics, tips, techniques, whatever you want to call it, for determining your baseline environment and identifying any threats and then evaluating those threats. And then kind of a little bit about what do you do after you have identified something. So I did a video in the past that talked about taking a peek, and that's P-E-E-C-K, an acronym that basically stands for patrons, employees, exits, cover, and killers. And if you want to take a look at that video, I'll try to remember to link it down below, or you can just search it, how to take a peek or something like that. But anyhow, because it's kind of related to this, because anytime that you first walk into an establishment, especially one that you're not familiar with, then that's what I recommend doing. And that kind of goes along with the number one on this list, and that is determining your environment. You're kind of looking at the environment to see what's normal. What is expected of people here. What is routine. And so basically you're establishing the baseline for that environment. You're looking around and you're seeing how everybody's behaving, and you're trying to identify if there's somebody who's not behaving in a normal manner. And once you do that, once you identify somebody who is not behaving in a normal manner, then you want to take a look at the hands, eyes, their demeanor, clothing bulges, and their friends. So let's talk about each one of those real quick. Their hands. The hands are the things that'll kill you. Those are the things that grab weapons, that hit you, and all those kind of things. So you really want to keep an eye on hands. The first time I heard this was probably back in like 2000, taking a protective service operations course. And that's basically where you do bodyguard protection and stuff like that, and protect dignitaries and whatnot. And that's one of the things that they teach you, is you always look for the hands. You're not looking at your principal or your DV. You're looking outwards, and you're looking at people's hands, trying to see what they're doing. So that's the first thing. The next thing is you want to look at their eyes. A person's eyes are the window to their soul. And when somebody has bad intent, I don't really know how to explain it, but you can just look at them and tell they're up to no good. They're up to something, And I don't know if this is some kind of a regressive, trait or thing that people just know from, years and years of having to deal with bad people in the past, or what it is. And there's not even really a great way to describe it, but that you're looking for that look of a criminal, that look of somebody who is just not up to no good. Maybe they've got a little bit more of a stare, maybe they're looking around a little bit, trying to see what's going on. It's hard to say. I've got a video that goes over, I don't even remember how many pre-attack indicators, and so you guys could check that video out too if you want. But anyway, take a look at the eyes. So you take a look at the hands, see if there's anything going on there, then look at the eyes. And then the next thing is you just want to check their overall demeanor, their overall body posture. Are they standing funny? Do they keep patting a weapon or something? And going right along with that one is clothing bulges. Do you see any weird clothing bulges or anything that seems unusual? Are they wearing a trench coat or a big coat when a heavier coat when it's nice out? Anything along those lines. And then the next one is do they have friends? And this one, the key indicator here is, if their friends are right next to them, that's fairly normal for people to be close together. But what should really raise a red flag for you is if one friend is here and you see him nodding to another guy who's maybe over on the other side of the room by a different exit or something along those lines. That is pretty concerning. So take a look at the hands, then the eyes, their demeanor, their clothing bulges, and then try to determine if they have any friends. So at this point, hopefully, that along with hate to say it, you're not a police officer, you're a citizen. A little bit of profiling, looking to see, is there a set profile for where you're at and what's going on and all that kind of stuff that makes you think this guy doesn't really belong here, or they just seem out of place, or don't think that they're up to any good. It's really a gut feeling, kind of get the hair raised on the back of your neck kind of thing. So at this point, then you're going to need to make a decision about how are you going to deal with those possible threats. What are you going to do? If you've identified someone and at this point, maybe they haven't done anything, but maybe you're keying up on it and you can tell something's going to happen, So you're going to have to figure out what's going on. And as you've seen, I talked about the OODA loop in the past. This is sort of using that whole OODA loop thing as well. So you got to make a decision. And what you want to do is, there's a couple of different things you can do. And these are just the ones that I came up off the top of my head. So you guys might be able to add something to this in the comments below. I'd definitely be interested to hear what you have to say about it. The first one is continue to watch. Just continue to watch, but be ready to engage, in whatever that may be. Maybe you have a concealed carry pistol with you, but maybe you're in an environment where you can't have that. And maybe you just have to go hand in hand. And who knows, but that's the first thing. Just being vigilant, keeping an eye on them, watching what's going on. Second thing is you could report them to the security, if there is security there, or the facility manager, whoever the manager is, and you can just go up to them and just say, look, I don't really know if these people are up to anything, but these guys over here are doing X, Y, and Z. They look kind of suspicious to me. I just wanted to point them out to you. I don't know if they're paying customers or not, but I thought you should know. Maybe that'll help. Maybe it won't. It really just depends on the manager and how security conscious they are and where you are and all those kinds of things. So it's hard to say. So the next thing is you could acknowledge their presence. Maybe walk over by them, take a good look at them, look them up and down. Hey, how you doing? What's going on? Or whatever the case may be, something along those lines. Let them know that you've seen them, that you're watching them, that they're not going to have the element of surprise, essentially. The next thing is you could confront them. You could straight up confront them, say, look, I don't know what you guys are up to, but it's not going to happen today. You need to take a hike. You might be surprised. You might be surprised at something like that. If you're certain that something is off with them, you might be surprised how effective something like that could be. You also need to be ready for the fact that might not work and it might piss them off and you might have to go to fisticuffs or whatever the case may be. So that's a possibility. You should definitely be ready if you do that. The next thing is leave the area. Just, take off. Don't be a part of it. I think I told this story in a video or a chat once in the past, but my wife and I were in Seattle one time, and we went into a nightclub, and because I like to dance, I'm kind of I like to shake it, Anyway, we went into this nightclub and we were hanging out, and on one side of the room there was a line of guys that were wearing some colors and stuff like that, and they were all lined up, and they looked like they were pissed. They looked like they were ready to fight. There was nobody else around. They were staring across the room, but they were all just kind of lined up, standing there, and not giving me a good vibe at all. And so I look over on the other side of the room, and there's some other guys over there with some other colors, and they also looked like they were getting ready to fight. And I was like, we were on kind of the far side of the area, if I remember correctly, and weren't really close to an exit. And I told my wife, I said, hey, give me your hand. We're leaving now. And we got out of there as quick as we could, because there was 6 or 8 of them on each side. I don't remember the exact numbers, but there was nothing I was going to be able to do to stop that or break it up or whatever the case may be until it kicked off, and at that point it would be too late. And so I said, let's go. And we got out of there, and we got about 2 blocks away, something like that, maybe. And police cars rushing into where the nightclub was. So I don't ever know. I didn't ever find out what happened. I'm assuming that it was a gang fight, but luckily we got out of there and we didn't have to deal with it. And that was really all just due to situational awareness. And so that's the whole point of this video, guys, is when you're going into places, try to be situationally aware. Try to use that acronym PEAK. And then when you see someone, you want to take a look at the hands, their eyes, their demeanor, their clothing, and any clothing bulges, and then see if they've got any friends. Then you have to determine, what am I going to do now? So anyway, guys, I hope that's been helpful. And as always, I definitely appreciate it when you click the thumbs up button, when you share it with your friends on Facebook and Twitter, and don't forget to live the 6 Ps. Proper prior preparation prevents poor performance. Stay safe, guys.